This is BrainBoost, where we break down global politics with data, context, and tough questions in under 10 minutes. Today, what do a mega prison in El Salvador, Trump's re-election, and the future of asylum law have in common? In the hills of Tecoluca, a prison unlike any other rises. The Terrorism Confinement Center, known as CECOT. 40,000 cells, 24/7 surveillance cameras, punishment zones with no human contact. It's not just a prison, it's a declaration of power. But in 2025, this colossus became the cornerstone of a new strategy: externalizing punishment, outsourcing justice. Let's see how this alliance was woven together. January 2023. CECOT opens with the promise of eradicating gangs. May 2024. Trump promises to export the immigration problem. November 2024. He wins re-election. January 2025. ICE launches Operation Filter, targeting undocumented Venezuelans. March 2025. 213 detainees are sent, not to their own country, but to El Salvador. This is no ordinary deportation. There was no trial, no asylum process. A bilateral memorandum allowed the United States to send migrants to a safe third country. But CECOT is not a shelter. It's a maximum security prison. Bukile's authorities labeled them highly dangerous, although multiple NGOs assert there is insufficient evidence against many of them. The agreement with El Salvador goes beyond security. The USA offered military aid, surveillance technology, and funds for prison infrastructure. In return, Bukile secured space for thousands of foreigners deemed threats under the Trump doctrine. Are we witnessing the birth of a new international prison economy? This isn't new. The United States has already outsourced its immigration control. In Mexico, paying to contain caravans. In Libya, funding detention centers for African migrants. And now, in El Salvador, creating a Central American Guantanamo. The pattern is clear. Pay to not see. Punish without having to answer. The reactions have been intense. Venezuela accused the USA of getting rid of inconvenient citizens. El Salvador defended its sovereign right to cooperate. The USA described the measure as efficient and legal. But deep down, even progressive sectors have been divided. Should international law or national security be prioritized? Is Bukile a partner in crime or a strategic ally? Asylum law, recognized by treaties such as the Geneva Convention, is based on 3 pillars: a fair trial, temporary protection, and the possibility of appeal. With these outsourced deportations, all 3 pillars collapse. We are entering an era where the size of a prison can determine the fate of someone fleeing persecution. Trump is not alone. Other countries have begun to replicate this model. Italy is proposing to send migrants to Albania, and the United Kingdom has signed agreements with Rwanda. This model globalizes punishment and fragments refuge. The question is no longer whether someone deserves protection, but whether there is room to lock them away in another country. CECOT is no longer just a prison. It is a symbol of how politics can redraw maps and imprison fundamental rights behind distant walls. If we normalize this, what comes next? Deporting ideas? Locking up entire nationalities? This is more than immigration reform. It is a reconfiguration of power, of justice, and of what it means to belong. What do you think? Justice or pure politics? Comment below. Like, subscribe, and share this video. BrainBoost. where analysis matters. Thanks for watching.